We're in the glamorous surroundings of Port Adriano on Mallorca, and amongst the azimuths and the sunseekers, we're here to test something a little bit different. That being the Fjord 48. 50 foot of shameless party boat. It's got more sun pads on it than you can shake a boat hook at, but it also has a pair of cabins down below and 2 bathrooms. And this one also happens to have triple IPS 600, so should crack 40 knots out on the water. So let's have a bit of a closer look. So rather obviously, the Fjord 48 is all about life on deck. It's extremely exposed, apart from this standard T-top, which has got glass in it, loads of lighting, very funky bit of kit, but it's all about life in the sun, hence why we're testing it here in Mallorca. And the setup is absolutely superb, so very sociable. Everything that you have galley-wise is on deck, so you have your sink, and you have your fridge, and you have your grill. Everything is all up here, and this actually has a hob, but you can have a barbecue grill if you like, and that means that you can so easily serve this pair of tables here. These are both electronic, they go up and down electronically, and that's because they both fold all the way down like that, and then you can open them up, infill the space with a cushion, and have double sun pad arrangement. You have the huge sun pad aft, beneath which is a tender garage for a Williams 285, and then you can simply move those down like that, and you have more sunbathing space than you could ever possibly want. One of the 48's pitfalls is engine room access through this rather narrow hatch here in the cockpit sole. Now, it's exacerbated on this boat by the fact that you've got 3 engines, so as soon as you come down you're confronted by this motor. You can just have the 2 engines, but then your top speed's about 30 knots. If you want that 40 knot top speed, then you've got to have the 3 engines, but it doesn't make it particularly easy to get around and check things in here. And if you need to do any serious work, then the whole of the tender garage floor needs to come out. Now, this may be a very stylish and very open boat, but that doesn't mean it can't be safe and practical. I mean, just take a look at the gauge of these huge handrails here. You've got nice teak top non-slip bulwarks, and that continues here where this boat's tender persuasions are on pretty obvious show with these teak steps, holes here where you can fit poles so you can grab on as you get on and off the boat, and you also have these lovely big chunky pop-up cleats all along the deck. Really nice stuff. So as I said, there are 2 cabins and 2 bathrooms on board this boat. You can have a couple of different layouts. You can lose the guest bathroom and just have a big walk-in wardrobe. You can also lose this door so that you just have a totally sort of open plan layout down here. But this particular layout works very nicely. And though Fjord say that many people don't stay overnight, there's a lovely cabin down here to use. You have a really nice big bed, hanging storage, drawer storage. It's nice and bright, 3 huge strips of glazing up in the ceiling, and it also has a really lovely ensuite bathroom. So there's no reason why you couldn't spend a good couple of weeks on board this boat if you wanted to. The payoff for having 3 engines squeezed back into that engine room is the performance out on the water. We've hit 39.5 knots today, which is superb performance for a boat of this size, and for a boat of this type, which is going to be bay hopping, going from beach to beach, it means that you can really pick up the speed and get there if you need to. And of course with that you have IPS handling, so it's very predictable, it's very planted, never feels like it's going to misbehave, and you have of course joystick handling. And the other great thing is the hub-free tab system, or I should say interceptor system, using blades. The trim assist is constantly adjusting the trim so that you don't have to think about any of it. The machine does it all on its own, and all you have to do is set the throttles and work the steering. In general, I really like the layout of the dash. It looks very cool, very clean, very clear, but there are some changes to make. Though these seats look absolutely fab, they're beautiful things, really nicely made of stainless steel. They don't adjust, so you can see I'm having to perch forward here to reach the throttles. They can either add some adjustment or maybe bring the throttles down onto a plinth here so you can access them more easily. The other thing I'd do is also change the angle of these screens, because at the moment when you're sat right back here, it's really hard to read them. All they need to do is just put a plinth underneath them so that they're facing the helmsman a little bit better. What I really like about this boat is sitting here trapped between an Azimuth 55S and a Sunseeker Portofino is just how much it stands out. It really catches your eye. It looks so fresh, so different. And it's so much more than just a €1 million floating sun pad. Yes, it's very, very good at that. It is the ultimate party day boat at this size anyway. But below decks, there's 2 really comfortable cabins, 2 bathrooms, very clever practical detailing on deck, and then the performance out at sea is absolutely superb for a fast pointer-pointer. The major drawback I can see, well, bad weather. It's not going to be a big fan of bad weather, this boat, but then you're not going to keep one in Northern Europe, are you? And that engine room access, that's a double-edged sword because the performance is so good once you're out at sea, but it is very hard to work on the engine, so there's two sides of that coin there. But all in all, if you're looking for a boat to have fun on in the sun, you can't look much further than this Fjord 48.